Good morning, gentlemen.
The day of the day.
Y'all happy now?
The day of the day, Skip Bayless.
Really?
Yep.
You know what happens when you play with fire? You get burned.
Ain't no fire here.
San Antonio played with this fire. It got burned.
No, they didn't. Stop, Skip.
You
Stop.
never know.
I do know. Skip, you got to let this go, man. It's been 2 years.
Not over yet.
I'm saying no. I'm talking about your disappointment in Kawhi.
Right.
You got to let that go.
I'll never let that go.
You need to let it go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Since you're already going there, really, there's only one place to start this morning, right? And that would be Kawhi Watch. Everyone is still waiting on the Claw's crucial decision. Yesterday, our own Chris Broussard said it's close between the Raptors and the Lakers. Now Kawhi is, quote, in deep soul-searching mode over his next team. This morning on First Things First, our friend Chris Carter, who has direct ties with Kawhi's camp, said he expects an announcement today. CeCe's guess, Kawhi will choose the Lakers. Shannon, that has to be good news to you. I think you were at like 90% yesterday. What's your best guess
It was
now
wavering.
about what Kawhi will do?
It went to 90, then it came back up to 92.8.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I think I'm back, cross back over that 94 percentile again.
Okay.
Skip, I think the thing, I still believe he's going to be a Laker. He's one of the all-time greats. 2 finals MVP puts him in a very elite company. 2 defensive players of the year puts him in a very elite company. Winning titles in 2 different locales puts him in very elite company. Now the only thing left, Skip, for him is that how high can he climb? Is he, with the threes, the small forward, LeBron, Bird, KD, Kawhi.
Oh.
That's where we are. Yeah, don't do that, Skip, because that's where we headed. And he says, you know what? In order for me to really get the appreciation, let me go on over here to the whole Lakers.
Really?
Because
Is that what he's saying? I don't think he's saying that, but go ahead.
That's what I'm thinking. Because
appreciation?
He
was the most overhyped player in NBA history.
That's what I'm talking about right there. He says he wants appreciation now because Skip Bayless believed, even after what he did, winning the finals MVP, helping Toronto, because you and I both believe Toronto is not getting to or winning the NBA finals without Kawhi. Skip, he belongs to a Laker.
What did you tell me without the injuries to Durant, right? Clay?
Yes,
did you tell me that?
But still, they had to
now
do
you're
it.
putting him like in the top 10 all time?
No. I'm saying how high. Because, see, you just looking at it temporarily. You're looking at the short-term fix. But that's not how me and Y, you know, everybody call him Y now. Everybody looking at Y like, no, bro, it goes on. This is like 3-4 years. We're projecting. We looking at a Kobe Shaq situation. That's what we hoping for, Skip Bayless. Because look, LeBron is not going to be there for another 7-8 years. We know that's not going to happen. But Anthony Davis is 26. Kawhi, I think, just turned 27, 28. So we got 5, 7, 8 years, Skip, to win multiple. We could be 20 before it's all said and done. Before 2025, we could have 20 titles.
Maybe.
For the Lakers. So that's what he's going through. Skip, this is gut-wrenching for him. I believe had they not won the title, it would be a done deal. Kawhi'd already be a Laker. But the tug, the pull of having won that and to like, man, how do I say goodbye after this? We've never seen a Finals MVP leave after they won the title. Not immediately after. And that's what would actually happen. But unfortunately for you, fortunate for me, Kawhi about to break that cycle. He about to break that trend. He's going to be the first Finals MVP to dip after winning that award.
Dip?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it prepared us yesterday because what you thought happened, you thought that was an earthquake. That was Kawhi telling the Toronto he ain't coming back.
Really?
Shook the grounds.
Shook it all the way
from Toronto. Yeah.
Wow, now that's some Richter scale.
That thing was like a 15 on the scale.
Really?
Because we felt it way here.
Really? Epicenter in Toronto?
And it got a little aftershock this morning, didn't we? Got a little aftershock this morning.
You know how you always tell me I want to see that same energy? I'm not seeing the same energy from you today that I saw yesterday because you've escalated.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you were downtrodden. You were sinking in your seat. Lip was starting to fall over there. You see it hearing all the reports. I'm going to remind you that Rick Bucher sat right there 2 days ago and said, he's going to Toronto. That's the first I'd heard of that. And I was like, whoa, really? Then we had Jalen Rose, ESPN, say 99%. And then we had Frank Isola, veteran NBA reporter, tweet yesterday during our show. 99.9% Toronto, and Shannon Sharp is starting to sink in that chair over there because the sun was sinking.
It was, but even then, even then, I knew the sun would rise on Santa Monica Boulevard. So I felt very comfortable. I wouldn't go below 90%. And then my man CC, who's very plugged in, very connected.
He is, because his former agent is now Kawhi's agent, right? Okay, go ahead.
That's good. That's good, right? That's a good thing.
Okay. So here we are in day 6 of the NBA held hostage by this man. And at the rate we're going, to me, even though our man CC says there will be a decision today, who knows what this guy might do? Would you be shocked if he held this decision all the way until the day before camps open?
No, he ain't gonna do it.
Is he capable of doing that?
He's not capable of doing that.
You say everybody's calling him why now. Maybe it's because it's, why do you do that? And why do you do this? And why didn't you do that? Right? Because I'm asking, why did he do that? Why did he fly all the way to Toronto? Why would you do that? That was your first question. Yeah. And then you tried to flip it over on its head and say, well, wait a second, maybe he's man to man. He wants to tell him no.
That's what he wanted to do.
Right?
Yep.
Eye to eye. Sorry, Toronto. Really? Would he fly 5 hours to do that?
Yeah, that would look like a G6.
Would he get that whole city's hopes up again to where you said there were miles of people waiting downtown at the hotel, right?
Yeah.
Would you do that to those people? Would you get them back to the edge of their seats again? We're going to have a second big championship season, and then you're going to jerk that rug out from underneath them? Would you do that to them?
Do what?
Why? That's the question.
What Kawhi is doing, he's doing his due diligence. He understands what's at stake here. This is the biggest decision of his life. This is where he's going to be playing for the next 4 to 8 years. So you can't take this decision lightly. He's not doing that.
Okay. So I'm going to say what I said yesterday one more time. He has turned free agency into his version of load management, because you can't tell him when to play and you can't tell him when to decide on free agency either. He plays when he wants to. He decides when he wants to. So he's going to play this for all it's worth, because he wants to show everyone, I do it my way on my own time frame, right?
Yeah, that's what everybody should do.
Okay. Well, should they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty disrespectful to the Clippers and maybe to the Lakers.
That's not,
maybe.
First of all, Skip, Kawhi Leonard has to make a decision that's in the best interest of Kawhi Leonard. These organizations will always do. That's why they traded Blake Griffin. When they traded Blake, they weren't worried about what was best for Blake. They traded Tobias Harris. They weren't worried about that. The Lakers, they traded Lonzo Ball and B.I. and Josh Hart and the #1 pick. They weren't worried about those guys.
Live to regret that.
Oh no, they won't. No, they won't. That's gonna pay dividends.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna pay dividends immediately, Skip Bayless.
Okay. So let's get back to what our man Chris Carter said this morning. Really, the only news that is broken in the statement that I watched a clip of and read, because we're prepping for our show, obviously, while his was on, the only news is he does say the decision is coming today. Now, again, almost every veteran NBA reporter has been wrong at some point along this trail, because you can't predict this guy at all.
No.
But Chris is pretty plugged in, so I'll buy that much. But you're leaping to the conclusion that Chris is saying Lakers, when if you really break down what he said on First Things First, he's actually just stating his opinion that the best thing for #2 would be this, right? To come back to Southern California and play for the Lakers. Because the quote is, for Kawhi, this is about which organization is going to support his quest to be the best player in the world and get as many championships as possible.
Right.
Okay, I'll give you that. And this is Chris again. To me, the only team that presents that is the Lakers. I believe there's going to be an announcement today, but he's not connecting those dots to...
They're not together.
Okay, the first part is just his viewpoint, and maybe it's a very educated guess on his part, because maybe he's hearing that point of view from inside the #2 camp.
If you don't mind me asking, when Kawhi Leonard told the Spurs that I'm not coming back, where did he recommend they trade him to?
So, what's your point?
It was reported that one of the questions that he asked Magic Johnson, when I became available via trade, did you guys try and trade for me? Magic answered that absolutely. He wanted to know he was wanted then like he's wanted now. Were you willing to give up assets for me? Or were you trying to wait this thing out so I would just come to you? Magic assured him, no, bruh. You know, you see what we tried to get for AD? We would have been willing to give up a very similar package for you. So with that being said, he wanted to come, his original request was, I want to be a Laker. Now he has that opportunity. His request wasn't to be a Toronto Raptor. Kawhi, bird's in your hand, bro.
Okay, but speaking of bird in hand, the only bird that's really in hand is Toronto. That's the only